My Black Silkie Nimbus was attacked and killed last night. I showed up to the chicken coop this morning and I saw that the door was wide open and all of the chickens were outside of the chicken coop. And then I took all of them, put them back in, and I look over in the chicken run and I see Nimbus just laying there with all of her guts pulled out. Her head and neck is completely missing. And so some sort of predator came in and ate her head and ate all of her internal organs, I think. I haven't examined the whole body, a whole ton just yet. But in this video, I will be showing somewhat graphic, like, images of Nimbus. And it's only for like informational and educational purposes only. I'm not trying to shock you in any way. But I am disappointed that I wasn't able to butcher her and really show my audience what a Black Silkie is like. Eastern countries like Vietnam, China, and such, they utilize Black Silkies, or just Silkies in general, as protein in a medicinal soup. And I wanted to do a more in-depth video on it this time. I wanted to show like the legs and like the skin and meat and everything, and just share it with people because it's really fascinating that these chickens are like, they have black skin and they have black meat, and I wanted to share it with people, and I now just kind of lost that opportunity. And I'm just really bummed that Nimbus had to go, like, being eaten alive. Most animals that attack other animals, they don't wait until it dies to eat it. They usually eat it while it's still alive. And so I'm disappointed because, like, I know that Nimbus probably wouldn't have had a swift death. Like, she probably was in pain the entire time that it was happening. And that's what really upsets me. I was about to butcher her anyways today. I was planning on it because she started like crowing just like a rooster, and she started asserting her dominance in the pack. Like there's only 4 birds, you know, and it was her and the other 3, but I guess she was the dominant one. She did lay eggs. If you've seen my previous YouTube video, like, she has laid eggs. Nimbus is a female. She just was crowing like a rooster for a few days, and I think her crowing like that was essentially just announcing that here I am, and that's what happened. But yeah, enough of all this talk. I actually went and bought a Silkie at the grocery store, and it's very similar to how Nimbus would look like, and I want to show it to you. I'm gonna show you the Silkie that I bought first, and I have some water boiling, or not boiling, but just heated up, so that way I can clean up Nimbus. But I'll show you Nimbus later afterwards. But for now, I'm going to show you the Silkie that I bought. Alright, so this right here is a Silkie. Would probably be very similar to Nimbus. Let me turn on the light. There you go. So, you have the head here, and the neck. This is the breast, and the chest, and here are the wings. You can see how the skin and everything is this bluish color. But I'm just gonna say that it's a black chicken. But that's how it looks like. And then you'll see the legs. And the most fascinating thing about the legs is it's very different from the other chicken legs and chicken feet, because they have extra toes, which is so strange. This is the leg, and then these are the 3 main toes, and then this is like the side toe, and it has like 2 more, right? Which is so strange. There you go, like that. And Nimbus had this type of feet also, but what was different between Nimbus and this one is that Nimbus had feathered feet, and I can show that later Her feet is still intact, her wings are still intact, and so I might be able to salvage that. Her legs maybe, I don't know. So like her like thighs and everything, I might be able to salvage that. But for the most part, Nimbus's abdominal area right here where this hole is eaten out and pulled out, and then the chest is completely eaten out also, and the head and neck is completely missing from Nimbus. I'm gonna cut up like a leg and I'm gonna show you like the meat. I actually got a new knife from Pathfinder Knife Shop. This is actually a knife that's made by Dave Canterbury and his team. So take a look at that. It's so cool. It's very well made. And so I'm gonna just use this to cut up the chicken. I'm gonna make a more dedicated video on this knife later. So see, this is the meat of the chicken. Isn't that crazy? Like this is the skin, and let's peel this back. See? The meat is this dark bluish black color. See, I find this like incredibly fascinating, and I wanted to share this experience with everyone. Like, here are the feet. That's so crazy. See, but Nimbus had feathers on her feet. This right here is the chest meat. See? Got that dark color too. It's a little lighter here though. There you go, that's what a silky looks like. The upcoming footage is going to be somewhat graphic, and so please use your own discretion if you want to continue watching. This is purely just for educational and just informational purposes. I'm not trying to shock you or anything. And so here it is. This is Nimbus. This is how she showed up. And so it looks like it's actually her back. And so this is her behind, and all of the guts have been pulled out and everything. It looks like most of her organs on the inside has been eaten. This is actually her back. This is her back, and her chest is up front over here. And her head is completely missing. It's been eaten down for the most part. Some of the neck is still left. The wings are still intact. And so the wings are still okay. The legs are still okay. Her chest is good also. And her feet are good. So yeah, her feet are a little scruffed up right now, but she has feathered feet, which is different from the other chicken that you just saw. I mean, she got killed last night, very likely, because she was frozen by the time I got to her. And so I guess it might still be okay to salvage and eat. I'm gonna see if I can grab like the thighs, and I'm gonna just check on it and kind of just use my best judgment. It was below freezing last night. It was maybe even like in the single digits, and so it was cold. And so this would have cooled off pretty quickly, and I doubt any bacteria would even have had time to grow on this. And it's been fairly cold today too, and so I'm just gonna go inside, rinse her off, clean her off a little bit, and then toss her in some hot water to see if I can pluck her feathers. It's about 160 degrees or so in here, so it's good. Just dip her in like this. So her skin, it looks like it actually is pretty dark, but it's not as dark as the other silky that I bought in the grocery store. So I'm pretty sure it's just a different breed of silky. So I'm just gonna cut her thigh off here. It's not far from where she was attacked. But yeah, you can see right here, she does have some black meat. It's darker colored. Her skin is not as bluish black as the one in the grocery store, but I mean, it is very similar. Here it was chewed up a bit, so I think I'm going to just take this part off. I'm not going to take this here, I'm going to just take this much. And I'm going to try to see if I can get some of the meat on the chest. I'm not going to keep any of the skin from the chest though, so I'm just going to peel it all off here. Let's see if I can cut down here like this. That's one side of the chest. This is her liver. Super nice and healthy liver. Look at that. I'll take it. I'm going to keep it. Oh my god. Yeah, look at that. Her liver is just amazing. This is the best out of all the chickens that I've harvested so far. This right here is her gizzard. It's the muscle that digests all the food. So you'll see like her food and pebbles in here. Yeah, this is all her food that she's been eating. Yeah, it's frozen still because it was outside frozen. We can clean this and eat this. So not all of her internal organs have been eaten out. Wow, this is such a waste. Like her heart is probably still in here. Her heart is still in here. Everything. She was killed for no reason. This is like the biggest heart out of all the chickens too that I've harvested. That's crazy. All the other chicken hearts are much smaller. And jeez, this is really upsetting. Just peeling off the skin and the toenails. And the skin right here has a bunch of pores where the feathers grew out of. So I'm just cleaning everything out. Alright, I have everything here. You know, I have both her wings, her legs, and drumsticks basically. I don't have the thigh part because it was kind of damaged. But I have her breast meat, I have her heart, her liver, and her gizzard. Most of these parts are parts that I would take anyways. All I'm missing is mostly just the body, like the carcass, the bones, the neck, and everything else, you know? Like whatever attacked Nimbus wasted their free meal. Like they had a free meal, but they wasted it. All that was really in was her behind and maybe a little part of her intestines and then her head. That was all that was really missing. And then her back was just really scratched up and her bottom was pretty much just torn open. But all of her organs were not even touched. Her undeveloped eggs though were kind of touched. They were probably licked away by whatever ate it. But she had a few undeveloped eggs left, and I ended up just taking it, tossing it to the other birds. Like, this is good. Yeah, seriously, I'm just so disappointed that I lost that opportunity to really make a good video kind of describing the whole thing. But I mean, I was able to describe with the other chicken, and I hope that you find it really interesting. But let me show you in more detail here her feet. So this is Nimbus's foot. You can see like it has 2 extra claws right here, and like this is her main 3, and then you see these 2 here, and it's really strange. See, and all of this right here is just raised skin and pores for the feathers. So like there's feathers in all these pores right here, and that's why it's all thick right here. And she had feathers up here also in the middle. Yeah, this is really fascinating. All the other chickens pretty much have really longer toes. They have longer toes, and they have the main 3, and then all the way up to the top they have 1 more. But yeah, Nimbus has all of these, and it's just so strange. But yeah, skin is dark, you know, it's not the pale white or pinkish that you're used to, and the meat has a dark color also, like that. And the Chinese and Eastern countries consider meat, chicken meat like this, that's black, and skin that's black, medicinal. And so they make medicinal soups. And so that's what I'm going to do today. Alright, so I'm going to be making a medicinal soup then. I'm going to show you all the ingredients. I don't know what the ingredients exactly are, but I'm going to show it to you and share a little bit what I know about it. Right there, I should say Oriental grassroots soup-based recipe. I buy these packages at Asian grocery stores, more specifically like Korean grocery stores. Like these pieces right here, these are pieces of actual wood. Like look at that. They don't have too much of an aroma or anything, but apparently this is what gives the soup sort of like its aroma, I guess, or perhaps even the medicinal value. So yeah, I'm gonna just throw this into the pot. And this, I'm pretty sure, is ginseng, and so it's just ginseng root. So this is all, this has been known to be medicinal. And then I literally have these tree branches and stuff. And it's from a specific tree, I guess. And this gives sort of like the color to the soup. These right here are red dates. These give the soup a natural sort of sweet taste to it. It's really good. Like you can eat these as is, like this. Just like that. It's so good. It's sweet, but it has sort of like almost a tartness to it also, and it's not as sweet as the dates that you find in the grocery stores now. It's a lighter sweetness. It almost reminds me of like sort of like a dehydrated apple. This right here, these are goji berries, and goji berries are really high in vitamin A, so they're really good for your eyes. So let's just toss in a bunch like that. Here you go. You got a pot full of like random berries, dates, roots, and tree bark, and branches and stuff like that. And so, yeah. Normally I would make this soup in a slow cooker, and I just cook it overnight. But I want to see if I can just do this a little bit quicker and under a few hours or something. But most of the time you do want to slow cook it under lower heat, so that way like the chicken ends up being very, very soft, to the point where the bones are even soft as well. And that's usually how I eat it. But you can probably just cook it till where it's just done, and it doesn't need to be super soft. But yeah, this is plenty for the soup, so I'm just gonna take Nimbus and place her in. So the wings, the feet, like that, and I have the chicken breast. There you go. This is the gizzard. I have the liver and the heart. And there you go. Not bad. And so this right here, this is the chicken that I bought in the grocery store. I'll probably salt it and then just leave it in the fridge for like a day before, and then decide what to do later. I might probably just cook it up and eat it as is, or I might make a soup out of it also. But for now, it's just going to be Nimbus in this. So yeah, let's get cooking. I'm going to fill it up with water. This to the top. There you go. And it'll boil down. The only seasoning I'm adding is fish sauce, just like this. I'll put this on a boil first, and I'm going to turn it down to about medium for about an hour or two. Alright, I am finished. It smells so good. Water level is a bit down because I've already eaten some, but I'm going to show you here. This right here is Nimbus's foot. You don't eat any of the wood or ginseng. I don't think this is actually ginseng because it's very fibrous. There's a wing. This right here is actually from the other silky. I decided to put some more meat in, and so it gives it a little bit better of a broth. Here's Nimbus's chicken breast. This is the dates. So in Eastern countries, this would be considered a medicinal soup. And there you go. Oh man, that is so good. It's hard to explain. It's a very subtle sweetness. The amount of fish sauce that I put in here, there's no hint of saltiness or anything at all. It's just it's like a really mild sweetness to it from all of the ingredients. So like the sweetness naturally from the chicken, the sweetness from the dates, like these right here. These dates here are really sweet, or subtly sweet, and it sweetens the soup. Same thing with the goji berries. Here is the chicken breast. You can see like the color. There's streaks of like a dark black color or grayish color in it. Like, you know that it's chicken, but it tastes so different. It tastes different from the chicken that you normally eat. This is her wing. And you can see there's a black color to it. Really, really different and unique to these types of birds. And it seems like there's a lot more collagen in it also. So like just holding this and just feeling it is really sticky. And it's sticky because of the collagen. And so that is one of the bad benefits of eating this type of bird, the silky. Here's her foot. I forgot to cut off the nails, but that's fine. Yeah, and the feet is just full of collagen also. It's so good. Here are the dates. Holy crap. It's really sweet. But it's so good. Oh man. It also has a seed on the inside. Could you imagine eating a chicken that ended up being all black like this? See, it's really unique. All done. So yeah, and that's pretty much it for today's video. I appreciate you watching and just tagging along and following along on my sort of journey of learning how to become more self-reliant. I run into these problems and I try to solve them, and I use these opportunities to learn, and I hope you learned something new. And I'm glad that I was still able to demonstrate and show you like what a silky is. I may have left out a lot of stuff that's important about a silky, but for the most part that's generally what I know. I didn't really do a whole ton of research ahead of time when I made this video, but silkies are really interesting birds, and I wanted to share it with you. And it's a medicinal soup that my family made while I was growing up. My dad used to occasionally just make this soup, you know, and say that it's medicine and that I'm not supposed to eat it or whatever. But on occasion he'd let me have it, and I always loved eating it. And I never really considered it as like medicine, but that's what I was always been told. And now I understand though. It does seem like it is medicine. It's just a very tasty medicine. But yeah, I only have 3 chickens left. Nimbus just getting attacked and all of that kind of messed everything up, but I think I was still able to figure things out and things went well. I've got a ton more projects that I'm doing right now. I want to clean out the shed and get things situated so that way I can really get into these projects more in depth, and then be able to film and make these videos for everyone. I visited Jake's property yesterday, and so I have a ton of footage that I have to go through. But as always, I appreciate you watching. Please smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the links down below, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.